Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm exceptionally pleased about to bring you my first ever Watch Dives. You're all probably thinking, so how have you not featured a Watch Dives? They've been around for a little while now, and they've got their own website. They also feature AliExpress. They've done collaborations with San Martin, which has definitely raised their profile because San Martin are doing bits. I just didn't think to get one in. There's a couple that I've liked the look of. I've been looking to pick one up in the sales and stuff, but for one reason or another, it didn't happen. They recently contacted me via email. They offered this watch. You'll see this watch was sent in. They have no say on the review though. That's never going to happen on my channel. I'm never going to do paid reviews. I'm never going to be told what to say on my channel. This is never going to happen, guys. So yeah, watch dives are good enough to understand that. We're going to run through this. You're going to see it's an obvious homage, but is this the best of the bunch? Pagani have done it. We've seen a few different places do it. Very affordable, looks well made. So I'll leave a couple links in the description. One to the Watch Dives website, the other one to the official store. Use which one's ever best for you in terms of price. But I'm gonna stop going on. Sit back, relax. It's about that time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls. So this is the watch. This seems like the really obligatory sort of packaging you get from a lot of affordable watches. They've not done a very good job with the sticker. I don't know if they had a few drinks before applying that, but that's not obviously not straight. Hopefully that's not the sign of things to come with this watch. First watch dives, let's see how they've done. So this is the packaging. There's the watch. We'll put that to the side just for a moment. Inside, we've got a couple of tools they gave, instruction manual, warranty card, all that good stuff. None of it, it's not signed. It said QC pass. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. 2 links I've taken out for it to fit my wrist. And like I said, you've seen this packaging many, many times, so we're not going to go into that too much. We'll just put that to the side, so then we can have a look at the watch. I did pull the crown out, just in preparation for the watch. But you're going to recognise this. It's a homage of a more well-known watch. I'll bring a couple of other colour variations up next to me, so you can make an informed decision, maybe for what's more in keeping with your taste. But yeah. So this is the WD16500. My first ever Watch Dives watch. We're going to see together how they performed. Does it live up to expectation? All that good stuff. So yeah, the WD16500. Inside this watch, it's running a Quartz Seiko VK63 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. These Quartz Chronograph movements from Seiko, they're doing the rounds, lots and lots. They've been around for a little while. You'll remember Pagani Design using them for some time, and lots of other brands have jumped on that because they're super affordable, known entity, nice and easy. So yeah, I can see why they use it. This runs extremely accurately. And yeah, one thing about this one, it is a dated one. There's no date on the watch, so I would have liked to have seen them not have a ghost position, but there we are. This is the movement. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal and the insert, is all 316L stainless steel. So you'll see the case is polished. The bracelet is polished and brushed. Not too bad actually. Done pretty well in terms of how they've done it. Clasp, case back, pushers, crown, solid end links, all 316L stainless steel. A little bit of a mixture of brushing and polishing throughout the watch, and not done to a bad degree given the sort of price of the watch. So there we are. The case thickness of the watch is 12.1 millimeters. The case diameter, I measured in between sort of the crown and the pushers. It was coming at 39.9 millimeters. And when you go from the 9 to the 3 and the other positions where the crown and the pushers are, I was getting it to come out at 44 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20. That does step it down to 16 and back up to 18 millimeters at the clasp. And the lug to lug, tip to tip of the watch is 47.8. But you will notice it's got male end links to the center link, and it does become 50.9 millimeters. So would have liked to have seen maybe female end links on this. But it does slope down a little bit. It doesn't damage it in reality in terms of how it fits. And it's still only 50 mil, isn't it, in terms of, or just below 51 mil in terms of length of the watch. So yeah, there we are. The bezel is a fixed ceramic bezel. I will mention something just off the bat, as you'll see now. For some reason, it's just not straight. You'll see the 60 at the top is, the 120 is off to the left. So I'd guess the bezel's not been done correctly, because everywhere else it seems to line up pretty okay, but that really has been bugging me in terms of how far off it is personally. But yeah, ceramic bezel, case back is screwed down It's the type that hasn't got the nodules, so if you want to unscrew it, you will need a specific tool, which I don't have, but there we are, screwed down. Crown and pushers all screwed down. You've got Watchdives there engraved onto the crown, and at the pushers at the 2 and 4, which we'll go through in a moment. Yeah, they're screwed down also. The bracelet, like I said, the bracelet's got 4 mils of taper, push pins just to sort of size it up. You'll see I took 2 links out for it to fit my wrist. You've got polished center links, brushed at the sides, polished at the actual sides as well. Fully milled clasp is signed, Watchdives on there. 5 levels of micro adjustment, fully milled. It's a decent clasp, not fantastic, and I will talk about why in a few moments' time. The crystal covering the dial is a sapphire crystal, and actually the clarity on this is not too bad, to be honest. It's decent sapphire crystal. It's not going too crazy. It's flat, which helps, but yeah, sapphire crystal nonetheless. The water resistance to this watch is cited as being 100 meters, and the weight will appear in the top right. So with those 2 links removed, it was only coming in at 128.4 grams. So I mean, that is not bad. I think it's quite light. It doesn't feel like more light than most, but I mean, it weighs probably 20 grams less than I would have expected. But yeah, probably because of the quartz movement inside, which really helps as well. But there we are. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. You will notice you've got a bit of a gap between the dial and the sort of top of the watch. The rehout's a little bit pronounced. So the dial itself, you've got a minute track going around the outer edge. You got applied battens everywhere. So you'll have smaller battens at the 3, 6, and 9 because you make way for those sub dials. The blue on this, I think, is beautiful. Real nice sunburst blue. Plays with the light really nicely. And I do like the fact they've extended that sort of same to the sub dials as well, which looks stunning. You've got Watchdives that's just been printed on just below the 12 o'clock position. You've got Watchdives, Chronograph Professional. I do not know what that means. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure. Chronograph Professional. Yep, fantastic. I don't really know what makes it a professional, but there it is. You got, like I said, you got the black ring for the sub dials. You got, like I said, you got battens. You got the hands, which are all polished. You got a sort of faceted, so it's like a side by like on the hands. I don't know how you describe it, but I like the way it's faceted. I like the way it plays with the light. Done really, really nicely. The indices are cool. You got obviously you got the chronograph second hand, which is you got an arrow at the end. The counterbalance on there is done well, not too pronounced. Lots of people seem to be going with quite pronounced counterbalances nowadays, and I don't really understand why. But yeah, the watch itself, you're now wondering, so what's the loom like? Okay, the loom on this was all right. You know, I'm not to be honest. I was quite surprised at how good the loom was, really, because, and you'll see straight away, the one thing I haven't seen on a watch that's sort of homage in this watch is the loomed bezel. That was a really nice surprise, and actually the loom just goes and goes. It was something that I was wearing outside, and obviously gets charged. Come inside, and I was thinking, is the bezel loomed? Yes, it is, and the loom is not bad at all. Like I say, they've done a fantastic job with that, and it was just a nice little surprise to see. So yeah, decent loom. I'll press the chronograph. So the one pusher at the 2 will start the chronograph. So you'll see the second hand start moving. So the sub dials. So the sub dial at the 3, that's the 24-hour for the time. So that would be telling me now it's 8 o'clock in the evening, or 8:15 in the evening, more specifically. The sub dial at the 6 is the second running for the time. So that's going to keep going round, and it will add a minute each time it goes round, obviously. The sub dial at 9 is counting the chronograph. So each revolution that it goes round, excuse me, knocking my camera, it will go up by 1. So we'll let that do that in just a moment. Like I said, I do like the proportions they've used on here. I will try and wait to point out something, unless you've seen it already, because there are the hands. They've got some stuff on them. I don't know how they've managed it. Obviously, in installing the hands, that's how they've done it. But it was disappointing. There is some debris on the hands or some dust on the hands, which was a little bit of a shame. So you'll see it's gone past 12 now. So what I'll do now is I'll stop it in just a moment. So if you stop it around here, use the 2 o'clock to stop it. Use the 4 o'clock and it will reset both to go to the upright position. Like I said, I'll screw them both down in a moment. Everything's screwed down. Good size on them on the crown for adjusting the time. Like I said, there is a ghost position, which is a little bit unfortunate. I do prefer companies to sort of use the correct movements for the watches, but then on really inexpensive ones like this, it's not a deal breaker. But I would still like to see it. But yeah, that's the hands, indices, loom, dial, movement. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. One moment, guys. Okay, so guys and girls, this is what it looks like on my wrist. I think you'll agree it's a pretty thing, isn't it? Yeah, really pretty. Not badly finished either in terms of the brushing and polishing, given the price of the watch. And if you're looking for a sort of homage with this watch, this might be the one. Nice to see a different type of clasp rather than the other type you normally see on these sort of watches. So yeah, there we are. What do you all think? Okay, so guys and girls, that's now going to take me swiftly on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you know I always start with pants. I like to kind of hide with pucker. So what I think is pants about the watch is there's not a huge amount, but there are a few more things that I would be comfortable with, to be honest. So first and foremost, the bezel alignment. It has been driving me mad. The chronograph hand bothers me a little bit, but it's not as bad. But like I say, you'll see down there just how far to the left it is. Yeah, driving me crazy. The sharp edges. So if you've watched my videos before, you know I mentioned about Watchdives with these clasps. I'm pretty sure it's from the same factory because all along here, all along this area here, really sharp. It's just unnecessary. You start leave scratch marks on your hand and stuff as you're putting it on. Yeah, not good. The ghost position I'm going to mention. I do not like ghost positions on watches. I'm going to keep mentioning it until companies start listening. And the dust on the hands. I'll bring up a couple of pictures now, as well as trying to show you. But it was extremely disappointing. When I started looking under macro, I was very disappointed to see that there was dust on the hands. Yeah, not good enough. But they're the four things I'm going to mention. We'll go with the bezel alignment, sharp edges, ghost position, dust on the hands. What I think is Pukka. I'm going to say the sapphire crystal. Nice to see sapphire on an affordable watch, and also nice to see one with reasonably good quality in terms of the clarity and stuff. The dial, that blue dial is winning, isn't it? Really, really beautiful. Really, really catchy. The blue with the black looks nice. So yeah, that's good. The hands and indices. So in terms of how the hands and indices are done, I really like them. It's a shame the dust's on there, but that doesn't really affect. That's more of a QC problem, isn't it? The loom, yeah, like I say, I've not seen loomed bezel on this type of watch before, and it was nice to see it done so well, and the loom just goes and goes. The movement, yeah, Seiko VK63 movement, reliable movement, you know what you're getting. It can be nice and easy to change out. Well, if you've got the right tool, it will be. You can change the battery as and when the time comes, so that's good. And the general look of the watch, I think it looks really nice. You can obviously see why this obviously is a homage, but the original watch, you can see why it's so popular. For the price, I think they've done a reasonably good job at trying to make something, uh, yeah, done nicely. General look looks good. So the things I'm going to mention, I'm going to go with the sapphire crystal, dial, hands, loom, movement, and the general look of the watch. And that'll take me on to, would I recommend this watch? And I mean, guys, it's going to be a difficult one with this one, given the fact that you can clearly see the things that are wrong with this watch. So on this occasion, it's my first Watchdives watch. I would say it's left me quite disappointed, to be honest. So I wouldn't recommend this. The QC issue with the dust on the hands, I do not like to see that sort of stuff. It says QC checked on the card, and yet they didn't see the dust on the dial. So no, I wouldn't recommend it. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch. More importantly, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.